Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, let me see something. I'm starting to see some new stuff over here. Appreciate you guys so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What a morning! What a morning in the world of sports. Crazy things going on, especially in the NFL. Bam dropping 83 last night in the NBA. A lot of stuff to talk about today. Appreciate you guys. No, I haven't been on as much, but I'm off work and I'm in a remote location, so I definitely was going to try to go live today. I thought about doing it a little later because news just keep coming out about things. Um, and we won't get into all that. NFL free agency officially starts at 4 o'clock today, so the deals, even though all the deals didn't go through, a la Ravens, Max Crosby, I'm gonna touch on that. They did get Trey Haverson. That's breaking news, just about an hour ago. We're gonna get into all that. We're gonna talk about the WBC. USA men now gonna need some help tonight to make it to the knockoff round. Um, and of course, we're gonna talk NBA. Look at the talk about the current standings as teams start to make their moves as playoffs is in a couple weeks. So, but I thank you guys so much. Y'all been really supportive of the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Let me see. Just want to see something here with it. Okay. All right. I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all have been very, very great um, of late with your support and everything. So I appreciate you guys so much. Um, this is episode 322. Today's date, March 11th, 2026. Appreciate you guys so much. I'm Troy West. Thank you guys for the support. You guys have been great. Like I said, man, it's been crazy. The last couple of days in sports has been nuts, man. Like I said, I went on a rant about the Crosby thing as a Ravens fan. I was like, come on. But the Trey Hickey, they said now the report said that they tried to get both of them. Um, but they didn't feel comfortable with Crosby just having the surgery. The two first rounders, and I still think they should have took a chance. I think Crosby is that good. The first round picks, yeah, they valuable, but this year's I think it's the 14th overall. Um, yeah, we could have got something good for that. Well, we can because we got it back. And then next year, if you expect the Ravens to do well, that the first round pick for next year was going to be real high anyway. The high 20s, you will hope, or hopefully 32 if you win the Super Bowl. So I thought it was a good deal, but they said it really was the physical that turned them away. So, but I still would be surprised if it's something a little bit more. Maybe, um, like I'm hearing also that when they got Henderson, excuse me, Hickerson from Cincinnati, they didn't expect him to get the price, to get him at that price. So they figured, well, man, let's just keep our first rounders. So all this was in the motion. So, but I'll touch more on that. Uh, let's talk about the WBC. I mean, if you're a USA fan, um, we kind of screwed up. How you don't know the rules? I mean, I don't understand like in sports period how you don't know the rules or don't know certain things going into the tournament. So I think that was this. I think that was a big mess up by the U.S. because they said a lot of their good players yesterday. Italy was able to win the game because Italy was undefeated um, going into that game. We beat Mexico the day before, I think it was. So I thought, yeah, we dropped the ball on that. So now I think it got to be up to run differential or some crap, or they're going to be eliminated after tonight. So they definitely not in their own hands anymore. Um, so that's unfortunate for the U.S. win, but we got a good team though. So hopefully we able to, if we get to the knockout round, I think we'll be fine. But that's why you gotta double check the rules, even if you don't know them. You gotta double check, double check, double check, man. Because I think now, I think Italy, I think Mexico got to win, and then they got to win by 5. I think that's what I saw, um, which is gonna be crazy. Like, so that's don't sound good. So we hope if Mexico blow Italy out, and then we'll make it in. I think Italy will be eliminated. I think it would be Mexico and the United States, even though I think, well, we beat Mexico. So like I said, I don't understand all the rules either, but if you're in it, you gotta make sure you know the rules. So um, yeah, that's my YouTube logo. I guess if you want to call it that. Is AI generated. AI did that. It's a real picture of me, but the AI made it look like that's a retro AI. So that's I was like, yeah, instead of just having my regular, I used to just have my normal picture up. So I said, well, I'll do this. This is at least somewhat of a logo type thing. And what's up? I'm gonna just say Cutie. I don't know the first part of your name, but thank you guys for coming through. Um, but that's it with that. I think if the U.S. do get past tonight, Japan. I think it's gonna be them and Japan to get in the final. That Japan team, forget Shohei, even though Shohei is the team, but that Japan team is very, very strong. I don't know what the DR doing. The DR got a strong team. The Mexico team, like this group we was in, Mexico and the U.S. And Italy, like I said, they shown that they capable. So, but I think if um, the Tyrus Skubal thing, Detroit Tigers pitcher, only pitching the one game for the U.S. I mean, I don't blame him. He's trying to get his money, um, so he don't want to risk getting hurt. I just wish he could just say that. That's my only issue. He's trying to make it seem like which it could be some truth to it, that he's dedicated to the Tigers and all this stuff. But it's about that contract. He don't want to get hurt and ruin. He's going to be him and Schemes is going to break the bank as far as pitchers, starting pitcher goes. They're the two top pitchers clearly in baseball. Schemes though is there, still pitching for the U.S. So, but those two guys is going to get big money eventually. Um, Tyrant, he don't want to mess up his money, so I understand that. But I just don't like the well. All our athletes give us generic answers, but that's what it is. Is he just don't want to mess up his money in the future? So, but just hopefully the U.S. men get by tonight and they continue on. But now, anytime you got to rely on somebody else to get you from being eliminated, that's going to be an issue. So we'll see what happens tonight. So hopefully they're not eliminated. Uh, I want to touch on the NL East with baseball. Then we gonna get into the NBA. National League East. I think it's not as strong as the AL East, but it's strong. My Braves. I'm an Atlanta Braves fan. Hopefully we bounce back this year. The Phillies ain't gone nowhere. They're gonna be our number one rival. I want to see what the Mets do. The Mets sort of losing Pete Alonso to the Orioles. I'm also an Orioles fan because I'm from Baltimore. Um, but loses a couple of their key pieces. We'll see what the Mets do. I still think Washington and Miami still trying to figure things out. Um, but they still had decent seasons, even though they was at the bottom of the division. But still a tough division. I just hope my Braves can overcome the Phillies, stay from being injured. I like how I seen Austin Riley. I watched a couple of Braves spring training games. I like how he's swinging the bat. So hopefully he carried that into the season. Ronald Acuna's playing well in the WBC. The Jerickson profile news, the suspension he got, I think he got busted for PEDs. I think he basically out the season. That's going to hurt because I like what he do in the field and his bat. Um, so that's going to be a big loss. Hopefully Chris Sale come back, have a big season. Spencer Strider looks good as well. So I'm excited about my Braves. I think we can bounce back, be a perennial playoff team again. Hopefully get back to the World Series. But it's all about the Dodgers in the National League. And in baseball, period. Until somebody beat the Dodgers, um, I mean, that's the standard right now in baseball is the LA Dodgers. So, but I just hope my Braves can compete in the National League. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into Bam, man. A lot of people got mixed feelings on Bam Adebayo. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was fake last night. I'm seeing 83 points. Bam. And Bam, he's improved his scoring over the over his career. He was more known as a defensive player, but uh, first of all, he shot 43 free throws. So I didn't watch this game obviously live, but that had to slow down the game a little bit. And then, of course, once he really got realistically close to it, of course, the Heat, even the Wizards probably, nudged them towards to get the record as well. Um, I ain't gonna take it away. I remember when that happened. Uh, I think because Kobe's, he basically they needed all 81 points. They was Toronto was pushing them in that game, so Kobe had to stay the game. I think the Heat at one point was up by 40, and they still left Bam in there to get the record. Not like I said, not taking it away from him, but it's a little details you got to add to that. Um, but nevertheless, it's still impressive. Um, he scored 31 in the first quarter. I think that was his best quarter for sure. Really, after that, he cooled off. He did shoot the ball well after that. He got to the line a lot. Um, if he'd have made, he took 22 threes, only made seven. Let's just say if he'd have made two or three more threes, he'd have been close to 100. And now, like I said, I don't know when it's going to happen. Like this came out of nowhere, but I think one of these days somebody's going to get close to 100 or get it. Um, in today's game, the way the threes, if somebody get hot from three, um, I think it's possible. Especially Bam, like Bam would be the last person you would think will be anything type of scoring record. But it was, I mean, it got the people, it got the league on fire a little bit. Bring some eyes to the league. Sort of took some shine from the NFL. So it was good to see Washington, the Wizards. Like I was talking to somebody about it last night. They try to tank anyway. They just try to get another high pick. So there you go next year with Trey, and hopefully Anthony Davis stay healthy. I like what the Wizards have done. They got the young core. Um, so I think that's what the Washington try to do. So they try to hopefully they get the top pick. But it was fun. It was fun to see. I gave him credit. I go take nothing away from him. I would take the Kobe 81 because the degree of difficulty. Uh, but Bam deserves some praise today. He had a monster game. But the free throws, I guess that's what a lot of people is throwing the ashes on the 43 attempts for the free throw line. He made 36 free throws, so that is nuts. Even in today's game, that is crazy that he got that many free throws up. So, um, but the Heat, I think the Heat overall, just to touch on them and to translate to the Eastern Conference. I hope Miami get in that top six. Even I think Bam was the one that said that they tired of playing in that play in. The Heat, it's too good for that. Um, I think if they get in that top six, I think it's possible now. Tyrese Maxey went down for the Sixers, so I think the Sixers going to lip in. Hopefully, Paul George come back for them. They'd be a monkey wrench. You see what the Charlotte Hornets doing. They at the bottom of the standings as well in the play-in. Um, but to me, the East is really three teams you probably really believe is going to probably make a run and get out of the East, and that's Boston. Boston, I'm starting to really warm up to Boston. Period. Even though Detroit has had an awesome year, but them, well, I say four teams. I still think Cleveland. I thought James Harden was going to be more hurt than he was, um, and the Knicks. But the Knicks lately has been up and down. Like if you take what they did since the start of the new year, they right there with anybody. But the last couple of games, they just been having little uh, laying a couple of eggs. So, and they're not as defensive minded as they was last year. The good thing about Tom Thibodeau, he made you play defense. He grounded you to the ground. That was the flaw, but the Knicks was much better defensive team than they are this year. So we'll see if that bite them. Detroit, just Detroit and Cleveland. That's just well, about around for the long haul. I like Cade Cunningham. He definitely deserved to be in the MVP race, but I just think they a year away. I think they needed another year um, to get right. Boston, like I said, the Jason Tatum thing, I'm sort of surprised he came back so soon. He looks pretty good. He don't. You really can't tell unless you know that he had the injury, and that's a good sign. I guess slowly or surely they'll up his minutes. Boston with the experience, I'm starting to lean towards them coming out the East. I said Orlando. I know people that really watch me. I said Orlando because I just thought it was a weird year in the East. I was like, it's going to be a weird team this year. Orlando, they're capable of doing it. I like Prashero. I think he got to still improve offensively. But I like their defensive minded. Desmond Bain is having a quiet monster year. I still, I'm gonna hang in there with the Magic, but I don't feel confident. I'm starting to really lean towards the Boston Celtics now, coming out the Eastern Conference. In the West, of course, it's OKC. Um, Shy about to break Wilt's record. I think it was 120 some games with at least 20 points. I think he's going to get that whenever the next time they play. I really started to like the Spurs. I think the Spurs, even though a lot of people was trepidation on them because they young, they ain't never been to the playoffs. Wembenyama, of course, is outstanding, but he's a little injury prone as well. So hopefully he don't get hurt at the wrong time. But I like the Spurs because by matchups, like this is a guard driven league now. I think they got so many guards with Harper and Castle and those guys. And defensively, they get after you. Then Wemby got your back on the back end. I think in a 7 game series, I think long as the pressure ain't too big for them, the matchups there definitely have an advantage. Even against why I think they match up with OKC because they get slow shot down enough, and then Wimby and Chet, Wimby is pretty much one right at Chet Holmgren, so I think they match up well with them. Denver could be a problem if they get healthy. That's the thing, they ain't been healthy all year. I think now Jamal Murray's hurt again. Joker just got back. Can't count Denver out. I like Houston as well, but I mean I don't want to put everything on Kevin Durant, but he's going to have to like offensively for sure carry. Sorry, I think I lost signal for a minute. Um, I like Houston as well. Um, Lakers just don't play no defense. I love Luka Doncic. I think the Lakers got to build the team around him better. We'll see what LeBron do after this season. I like Austin Reeves, but defensively they just can't stop anyone. Who else is out there in the West that could contend? Um, I think the Clippers are a sleeper with Kawhi, but again, they haven't been consistent this year. Who else is out there in the Western Conference? I named pretty much the top teams there, but Minnesota. Can't forget about the T Wolves with Anthony Edwards. I just think with them, my only issue with the T Wolves that it's too much scoring load on Anthony Edwards. Somebody got to really be that second guy. Which Julius Randle has tried. Every once in a while, Nas Reed have a monster game offensively. Um, but I think it's just too much. Even though he's carried them to the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years, I still think that's their ceiling unless somebody um, offensively help out Anthony Edwards. Other than that, I think you had to score like 30, 40 points a game in the playoffs. It carried them all the way to the finals, even if to a championship. I think that's going to be hard for Minnesota. So I sort of have Minnesota on that second tier. I guess you name all the other West teams that's there. Um, but those are the main ones I think that could make some noise in the Western Conference. Phoenix, nice story. I like how they bounced back after losing everything, pretty much rebuilding. But I think they'd be a playing team, and they'd be, the teams are pretty much set in both conferences. The 10 teams, the 7 through 10 playing teams, and the teams above that. It's just going to depend on where people land. It's going to depend on matchups as always. We'll definitely revisit this in the next few weeks because the standings could look a lot different. Boston is right on Detroit heels for the 1 seed in the East. Um, in the West, it's basically OKC or the Spurs going to get the 1 seed, and everybody else sort of bunched up in the Western Conference. So, um, but I still believe like a team out of nowhere could maybe put a monkey wrench in everything. Like in the East, like I said, Charlotte has played very very well. Um, in the West, well, Minnesota would really come out of nowhere, but I'd be surprised if they come out. So like I said, the Clippers that's at the bottom. I'm just talking about the bottom, the teams that's more at the bottom that could probably win a playoff series or two and mess some things up. But that's my NBA spiel for today. Congratulations to Bam Adebayo again. 83 points, nuts, but he did it. I don't take too much away from him. Yeah, the free throws. Like I said, I see a lot of different opinions on it, but at the end of the day, he's in the record books with 83. So it's Wilt with 100, Bam with 83, Kobe 81. I think you got a lot of people that score 70. Luca, Devin Booker, Embiid did it once. Um, it's probably a few other players. And 60. I don't think he got over 69. Sorry, my signal keep going out. Um, but it was crazy though. He shot, like I said, but in today's game you get to shoot a lot of threes. Um, and like I said, he only hit 7. Like, just imagine if he'd have made, like I said, if he'd have made 14 threes or anything close to that, he would have got closer to 100 or maybe 100 points. So, um, but people will be talking about this for a few years until somebody either passes him or get close. Um, but I mean, it's just because it's Bam, and I'm not, like I said, he's not really known as an offensive player, even though he can score the basketball as you see, because he shoots a lot of threes. Sorry, the stagger signal keep going in and out. Um, I think I know why. It's the Wi-Fi is going in and out. It's back on again. But yeah, thank you guys for being here this morning. Not at home, so I don't have all my stuff I usually use. So that's why this video probably gonna be pretty much quicker than normal, because I'm basically going off the top of my head. Um, NFL. Let's finally get into the NFL now. I sort of reiterate my match cards we take. I'm a Ravens fan. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there. So, like I said, at first I'm still a little disappointed that we didn't wind up getting them. But the Trey Hickerson thing does make up for it, and we get our first round picks back. Somebody commented on my video, on my short, pointing that out. I'm like, yeah, feel a little bit better. I'm not as upset. If we wouldn't have got nothing and just had the first round picks back and not get Cross, or at least not get Hickerson, yeah, I still would be a little embrace Max before we even got here. But his knee injury must be pretty bad because basically all the reports is really really bad. He basically just got out of surgery, but about 6-7 weeks ago, uh, the Ravens doctors looked at him, even other doctors around the league. So a lot of teams, even the teams that was looking for him, like Dallas, the Cowboys, the Bears, the Bills have been coming up now. Now I'm here in Philadelphia as well. Um, I think Philly will take a chance because they already got a good defensive line. He just enhances it. So if he go to Philadelphia, I wouldn't be surprised because they don't. They probably go ahead and give the Raiders what they want, and then if he's not ready for the season, they'll still be fine on the defensive line. So I could see Philadelphia pulling the trigger. I could see the Bears doing it also, um, or the Bills because those teams are close. Just like the Ravens, like I said, we had a pretty rough season. Lamar was hurt half the year. Um, I still think um, I think we're close. I think we could definitely make some noise in the AFC, but I don't think I would have to put even Buffalo ahead of us right now in the AFC. Um, the Chiefs, some of the little moves they made, they get Kenneth Walker the third, the Bosa they running back, but they lost Pacheco. Um, they lost him. He went to Detroit to make up for Montgomery being gone. Um, so a lot of crazy moves. Mike Evans to San Francisco, that was a big one to me. I think the Niners, if they stay healthy, their offense is going to really be explosive. I think Mike Evans takes the top off. Big possession receiver. Um, Pryor definitely, if he stay healthy, it's all about him. If he stay healthy, the offense is going to roll. So now that's just got to get back defensively. Fred Warner will be back. They got young on defense. Once they get their defense back to the standard that they usually play at, the Niners will be a problem. That division is going to be tough. The Rams again, if Stafford, basically Stafford's coming back. And then you got the defending champs now, the Seattle Seahawks. I really believe in them as well. I know they just lost Walker, but the backs that they had already was decent. Then they probably could get a back at the draft for sure to replace Kenneth Walker. Um, so Seattle's defense is outstanding as well. Still a lot of moves to be made today. I just heard Kirk Cousins. Of course, Atlanta got Tua. Tagovailoa from Miami. I think that's. Well, yeah, I mean, Atlanta got weapons, so but Atlanta better get that offensive line straight. So I wonder if him and Michael Penix Jr. gonna fight for that starting job. So Kirk Cousins is just as good as gone. They're gonna release him today, pretty much. Kyler Murray is also out there. Yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna just cut my Wi-Fi signal off and now because they keep going in and out, and that's what's making my signal keep going out. Apologize about that, everybody. But what I was saying, yeah, Kyler Murray, I still really believe in. I think if he plays to his potential, Minnesota already got a team. Justin Jefferson, Addison, um, on the outside. The defense is with Robert Flores. He stays in Minnesota. I wanted him as head coach for us, for the Ravens. But we got Mike Minter. I'm okay with that because Mike Minter has been here before. So I think he definitely be a good coach for the Ravens, I think, just because he knows the ins and outs already here. Um, but yeah, Minnesota's interesting. We'll see if they get Kyler or not. I heard they still not really giving up on JJ McCarthy, but he just got to stay healthy. He shows a little bit of flashes that he could be a starter, but um, the jury's still out on him. So we'll see with how that goes for Minnesota. Uh, Pittsburgh, I heard they waited for Aaron Rodgers. They got Michael Pittman Jr. That's a little underrated signing at receiver to help their offense. Um, and I like Aaron Rodgers, but honestly, I think Aaron Rodgers should retire. That's just my opinion. I think Aaron is holding on. Um, so I think he should go ahead and retire, to be honest. Um, but watch out for Pittsburgh. We'll see what they do if they don't get Rodgers. They say they're interested in Cousins. But I think Pittsburgh need to just stay away from the old guys and just draft a young guy and develop him. That's what I think Pittsburgh should do. I know they sort of in the win now window. Mike McCarthy, I'm not sure about him at coach. Even though, like I said, I compare him to Sean Payton. Sean Payton get more praise than Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy also is a Super Bowl winning coach. I just think from the outside looking in, I just don't think he's one of those guys that motivate guys enough as a coach. I think he's probably know what he talk about with football. Probably a good offensive mind. But I think when it comes down to it, he just don't give you the extra gear that you need. That's just me as a fan from the outside looking at it. And Dallas, when he was in Dallas, I think Jerry was definitely had fingers all over everything. Um, and I understand he's the owner, so it's like, what can you say? But some, like Parcells and other coaches in the past pushed back on Jerry when he tried to come down and meddle in the business of football. So I don't see that in McCarthy. That's all. But the Steelers, and they're rival ours. But I'm talking objective. I think if they do get the right quarterback, Pittsburgh's would be an issue still. The Bengals, if Joe Burrow stay healthy, Cleveland, we'll see what they do with Shador in a quarterback situation. Deshaun Watson, will they really let him go or what? So all that's need to be said. Uh, I want to see where Tyreek Hill goes as well. Um, he's coming off injury, so I really think he should go back to Kansas City. I mean, that's like the obvious choice. But we'll see what he decides to do. because he's not going to probably be ready for the regular season either. Um, Malik Willis to Miami. Miami starting over. I don't mind it. Um, I like him. I saw him firsthand when the Ravens played the Packers last year, late in the season. He looked great. They say the offense is similar to that in Green Bay, so maybe he could flourish there in Miami. Um, and they got an opportunity because Buffalo and really Buffalo and New England is the top of the East now. Everybody think the the Patriots going to sort of take a step back because their schedule will be harder. Um, and they signed who they signed? They signed the receiver. Um, they signed the receiver yesterday. Yeah. Glenn, I agree with you. That's possible because he'll rely a lot on his lateral speed, his speed period. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if he even get close back to his old self. Um, because honestly, I think he's a great receiver. I just think honestly he's just so fast. Like I don't think I guess we'll see is he really a good route runner or not because he's going to have to rely on that now. It's not going to be his speed anymore. I think he was just so fast. It didn't matter what route he ran. He just had separation. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think you're correct. I think it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, Cam. Yeah, the Giants. I didn't even bring up the Giants. Well, they got my old coach, John Harbaugh. He's signing some old Ravens or some guys. You can tell him and his brother talk because Ravens either go to the old Ravens either go to the Chargers or they been going to the Giants or he been getting old Chargers players. So, um, but the Giants gonna be an interesting team next year in the East in the NFC East. I think it's still Philadelphia and everybody else, but the Giants, we'll see what they do. Can the Commanders bounce back for the season they had? Dallas, um, will they go ahead and try to get Crosby or not, or they made some moves, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I was upset about us not getting Crosby at first, but the more I think about it, Trey Henderson, he's a good pass rusher. That's all we really need is a certified pass rusher. We keep our first round picks. Um, I still think we need another decent receiver to go aside Zay on the offensive side. Um, Mark Andrews, I don't want to say he's done, but I would have invested more in either Likely. I think we lost Kohler as well. I like Mark Andrews. He's been a great Raven, but he's on a latter side of his career. I would have kept Likely if would have made him like our next tight end. We have um, a lot of good tight ends, Dennis Pitta and Todd Heap. It started with Shannon Sharp, even though Shannon Sharp wasn't drafted here. But that year we won in 2001. He was, of course, a Hall of Fame tight end. And then, see, like after that, we got Heap and Dennis Pitta, even though I think he tore his hip that ended his career. We had a lot of good tight ends. So for both of them to go, and now it's but they might get another one in the draft. Yeah, yeah. I wanted to keep Likely. I like the way he was developing here. So yeah, that's going to be a big loss. We'll see. Like I said, the draft is still to get to the draft yet. So um, we still a month out from that. So maybe they think they can, get some guys in the draft to bolster up the tight end room. But I like Andrews. I don't think he's done, but I would have still tried to keep Likely and Cole. I like the Cole of some of the stuff he did last year as well. So, um, but yeah, I'm confident in the Ravens this year. Lamar just got to stay healthy. That's the only thing. If he stays healthy, um, uh, I think we'll be right there again. But you got to beat the top teams. Kansas. Kansas City. I think Kansas City It's still Kansas City, but we'll see how Mahomes look. He's coming off a major injury as well. Um, they say Travis Kelsey coming back, but Travis Kelsey, I think this definitely is last year. Um, I think this will definitely be his last year. So the Chiefs ain't the same old Chiefs anymore, and then they in a tougher division now with Denver and the LA Chargers. Even though I believe in them because they got Jim Harbaugh there, but still Justin Herbert, we're gonna have to start uh, calling him out. He's fallen short to me too many times now. He's going to have to turn the corner um, and get the Chargers over the hump. Yeah, I saw that they lost Pacheco. He went to the Lions, but I think it's a perfect fit for him because they lost Montgomery, so I guess they will replace Montgomery with Pacheco. So that running game for Detroit should still be decent. Um, the Lions, though, and I like Jared Goff. Like I said, I've been hard on Jared Goff, but uh, they DN, he got to stay healthy. And I think Dan Campbell got to sort of really back. I think he take too many risks sometimes on offense. But that division, Green Bay. I think people overhype Green Bay as well. Um, I think Chicago right now is the team out the NFC North now. For right now, I think Green Bay is going to be good. Like I said, we'll see what Minnesota do at quarterback. Will they get Kyler Murray or not? So a tough division, but I still think Chicago is clearly the best team. I like Caleb Williams taking a step forward last year. Um, we'll definitely see about that. I'm already excited. Yeah, I've started that. Green Bay to me, Glenn, to me, the last couple of years, like people was picking, even last year, people was picking them to go to the Super Bowl, go to the Super Bowl. I was like, I mean, I like Jordan Love. Jordan Love, they got a good team. They're young, but I was like, no, they're not on that level yet. In the last 2 years, people have been overhyping this team. Make the playoffs. They was a 7 seed 2 years in a row. And, yeah, they beat Dallas the year before. But this year, um, who did they play against? Who was the second seed? Because it was Seattle and Philly was the third seed. Who did they lose to in the playoffs? But they didn't look good in that game. Whoever it was, I can't even remember right now. Mine going to blank. But yeah, I just think they've been overhyped the last couple of years. And I think Jordan Love is getting better and better and better. But we'll see what Micah come back and does. Um, but yeah, Dallas gonna win about 8 or 9 games. They hardly do anything. Yeah, I kind of like what they done though in the off season a little bit. We'll see with the George Pickens tag. He's been a problem. Far as off, just throwing tantrums and stuff. Is he really okay with this tag or not? We're gonna find that out sooner than later. The offense is pretty decent. Dak lost, he stayed healthy. Dallas can score. It's just the defense has been um, inconsistent the last couple of years, giving up a lot of points. That's why if I was them, I would see if I could get Crosby now that it fell through for the Ravens. I would try to definitely try to get Crosby because now he's not, since his injury's been put on Front Street, they ain't gonna get to first round. Ain't nobody gonna offer him 2 first rounders for him. But I think like I said, for the Ravens at the time, I was like, I don't mind it because they're gonna be high first rounders anyway. I touched on the Dolphins a little bit. Malik Willis, I liked him. I saw, like I said, he hasn't played a lot, but like I said, I'm a Ravens fan, so I saw him what he did to us last year. Even though our defense is not that good anyway, but he played very very well. Was very accurate, very mobile. Um, but I think the Dolphins is sort of on a rebuild. Um, they pretty much cleaned house, so we'll see. But I think he's definitely should be the starter. With Atlanta getting Tua, like I said, I touched on that too. They better have a good offensive line because if they don't, um, it ain't going to matter with him. And I like Michael Penix Jr. also, but like I said, he can't stay healthy either. That's been his issue. But Atlanta has everything else with Bijan Robinson and Drake London. They got a really good team. Defensively, they improved. Um, I thought they was going to make a run for a playoff spot last year, but they fell short. Even though the Buccaneers um, and the Carolina Panthers was a little bit of a surprise last year, but yeah, I think both of those teams sort of in a rebuild, especially Miami. But Atlanta, they got a chance in their division to do something if they really get good quarterback play. I think they can possibly win that division. Miami, I still just think they need to build their team back up again. They still got the running back, uh, Air Chan, so he could be a good complement to Malik. Um, Defensively, um, they lost a lot of their veteran guys, so I think they need to retool on that. But I think this is a year Miami going to try to build and get back into the conversation with New England and Buffalo. Um, I forgot to touch on the Bills and them getting a receiver for Chicago. Jimmy Christmas. I'm having a brain fart right now, but I still think if they'd have got Mike Evans also, I'd be like, oh yeah, the Bills are working with something. Um, but Josh Allen is just that good. He could carry, like you see what he did last year with basically no receivers. Um, so them adding the receiver for Chicago, I can't remember his name right now. Um, Getting him, I thought they was in the running to get Mike Evans, but he went to San Francisco. I touched on that. I think that's real huge for the 49ers. But the Bills, to me, Josh Allen is just that good. Um, I think that makes them a lot better. They gotta improve their defense as well. Their defense took a step back last year. Had some injuries, but the Bills gonna be right there again in the AFC. I want to see what the Denver do. Bo Nix um, had an awesome year. I think if he wouldn't have got hurt, I think Denver would have made it. I think Denver would have beat New England in the AFC Championship game. My personal opinion. Um, if Bo Nix would have played in that game, I think it'd be them in Seattle instead of. That's why I still thought they was going to beat New England, and they could have without that the turnovers killed them, obviously. Um, but I think they would have gave Seattle a better game than New England did. Even though New England sort of fought back at the end, um, but yeah, this little bit it's still days to come. Like I said, days are probably tonight. It's probably stuff. I ain't getting no alerts, but it's probably something else probably happened. Somebody else probably signed by now. It's been a lot of moves made in the last 24 hours, let alone since negotiations started. But they don't. Like I said, nothing's official till 4 o'clock today, so we definitely gonna see a lot of more things happen. Yeah, yeah. I still thought Denver was gonna beat them, even with Stidham starting. Um, but he just, lost. He ain't turned the ball, but he turned the ball, I think, twice. So that was the game right there. So, um, but Denver, I mean, their defense is relentless. Bo Nix at moments showing he can play. He's gonna have another year. With the injury, we'll see how he come back from it. It's just an ankle injury, so um, I think he'll be back to where he was by the beginning of the season. But I mean, I gotta give the Chiefs credit. They trying to right things, get things back. But I think right now you gotta say Denver is the class of that division. Um, Kansas City will be back, and like I said, the Chargers. Like I said, I'm putting the pressure on Justin Herbert. I think he got to play better if the Chargers are going to make that next step. He's going to have to play better in pressure situations. The South, the Jaguars, the Houston Texans, the Colts has been in the news as well. Um, the Anthony Richardson situation, I like A. Rich. Um, It did look good when he pulled himself out that game last year. Was it last year or I think it was last year? He pulled himself out the game. I'm a Florida Gators fan, so I followed him a lot when he was at Florida. He's raw. He's a quarterback that needs development for sure. You've seen what he could do. He could throw the ball on his knees from the 10-yard line all the way to the other end of the field. He has the prototype, but I think his head got to get better. He got to develop better, read defenses better, things of that nature. That's somebody you got to give. You got to be patient with him. I don't know what the coach's going to do. I think they really like Daniel Jones, even though he got hurt. I think they really believe in Daniel Jones. I think they're going to try to have him ready for the season. Um, like I said, they did lose Michael Pittman, but yeah, the Colts are very interesting. But the Jags, we'll see if they can continue what they did last year. Houston, I like CJ Stroud, but I think he took a step back. He's going to have to play better. The defense was elite last year. Um, I think they got to get better weapons though. Even though I like Nico Collins, but he stayed hurt. I think they need a decent running back on the offensive side. Defensively, Stingley on that back of this relentless Hunter, that pass rush that Houston got. So that's an interesting division. Also, I think I touched on all the divisions really. Coast to be interested for sure. I don't see the Chargers making a lot of moves. Yeah, the Chargers haven't done much at all that I've seen. Um, yeah, but yeah, the Colts, yeah, they the wild card team. Depend on if they get their quarterback situation together. Um, Jonathan Taylor, uh, to me, he got to be the focal point of that offense, just like last year. But once Daniel Jones went down, they pretty much their season was over. Even though Philip Rivers played pretty well, which was crazy. I couldn't believe that when they brought him out of retirement. But he played pretty well overall. But the Colts defense couldn't hold up near the end of the season. So, but yeah, that division to me is sort of I want to say wide open. I like the Jags, but that division could be had by any of those teams also. Um, yeah, I could like I'm a big fan of Philip Rivers too. I liked him when he was at his prime. Um, yeah, I like Philip. I like how I just like a competitor. He's the quarterback that he gonna talk trash to you. He gonna take up for his guys. I mean, I just like Phil. I just got that. I like my quarterbacks to be like him, like far as his attitude and things of that nature. So I always been a Philip Rivers fan. In his heyday, with the Chargers, they just couldn't get past the Patriots. With him, LT at his prime. Um, that 14-2 year, I really thought that was their year, but New England went in there and showed them who was for real. But yeah, I always been a big fan of Philip. I think he's a Hall of Famer. Some people think he's borderline. You see Eli having problems getting in, and he got 2 rings. So, well, now he's not eligible for the Hall of Fame again for another 4 or 5 years now because he played. So that it starts over. He was about to be up this year, but he came back and played. So he's gonna have to wait. I still think Eli eventually going to get it. I talked about that before. I think he's going to eventually. You got to put Eli in. I mean, I know on face value, he's an average player. He got an average record. He got a lot of turnovers. But when you beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl, it's hard for me um, not to see him in. That's my opinion on it. I mean, I can understand why he's borderline because overall, other than them 2 years, the rest of his career was so-so. Um, and it's not just because his name Manning, because that's what people think. Well, he gonna get in because Peyton. No, yeah, the name carries weight. You a Manning, just look at their nephew, Arch. I think Arch is overrated to me, but because he got that last name, and he's played well at times, but I just think he's not on. No, he's not a number one. He's not a blue chip quarterback to me. I think he needs more real work. But I think Eli should be in the Hall of Fame. I despise the Patriots. I don't see how any team makes trades with the 20 years of dominance. I would let them rot. Yeah, yeah, because these last couple of years, a lot of people been stomping on them, kicking them while they down. And then they came back this year and got all the way to the Super Bowl. I was like, oh boy. Um, I'm the type like, I'm a Ravens fan, so I don't care for the Steelers much. The Patriots either, because they was in the way. Even though we beat them a few times on the road with Flacco by all means, but yeah, I agree with you, Glenn. That's I just yeah, Arch played horrible. Like they should have won. They should have been in the national. They was a national championship type team. I think he held them back. To be honest, I think if he'd have played better, um, Texas would have been right there this year in the college football. But I think they still make. Did they still make the playoff? No, they didn't make it. They didn't make it. I think they brought up in Alabama, and I think something happened. I know Notre Dame was pissed off. Uh, you know, oh man. Uh, The Jets, what you think about since you're a Jets fan, I guess I ain't even I forgot about Geno. Geno going back to the Jets. And I think Geno, since because he got drafted by the Jets, that Geno, I couldn't stand that Geno. That Geno, he was so immature. But he's definitely matured. He's definitely a better quarterback now. Um, but yeah, when he first got drafted, he just rubbed me the wrong way. How arrogant he was. Um, But I think he definitely learned from all that. Um, and he was just a Raider, so this is a kind of perfect that I'm asking this question to you. You probably saw him up close um, with the Raiders this year. Um, I can't get any worse with Gino. He's better than he was, but I still think he about 6K. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I agree with you. I don't. The Jets. And I like Aaron Glenn. I like Aaron Glenn. Um, I do. I'm glad they gave him another year. Uh, but I don't know, man. It's like I can't really put one thing on the Jets, man. I didn't like that they got rid of Sauce. I think they should have kept Sauce. Um, I just think they should have built around Sauce and the receiver. He's still there. They paid both of them. They paid him and they paid Sauce, but they let Sauce go to the Colts. Um, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna defer to you, man. Like the Jets, man. Only couple of years since I've been alive, I remember the Jets being good. It was in '98, which was unfortunate because Vinny Testaverde got hurt. And Denver wound up beating them in the AFC Championship game with Keyshawn Johnson. That Jets team. Um, I'm sure you remember that. That was a year I probably could have won. And the fruity years with Herm Edwards was decent, and with Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan got the two straight AFC Championship games, but Mark Sanchez just um, could not get you over the hump. Um, yeah, Sauce. Yeah. Last year, yes, definitely he got exposed a little bit at coverage and tackling. Um, and I think he's a little too arrogant too. I saw a couple of interviews with Sauce talk about he's the best corner and all that. I'm like, no, bro, no. I mean, you decent, but I can't say you're the best corner in football right now. And Garrett Wilson, yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Thanks for that. He's had talent. I like Brees Hall too. In the backfield, I think I guess you start with that defensively. Cause y'all lost Williams, right? I think. I know y'all traded a few guys last year away, but I mean, I think, like you said, you can't get no worse. But I still think a lot of work need to be done. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that year. I was only 98 when I was 15, 15, 16 years old. Because I didn't like Denver at the time. I liked it Brett Favre, right? Brett Favre was my guy. I loved the Brett Favre. And Denver beat them the year before in the Super Bowl. But then, like I said, I think y'all definitely would have beat Atlanta. If y'all would have beat them, I think Atlanta, y'all would have to play Atlanta. I think y'all would have beat Atlanta that year. Atlanta shouldn't have got by Minnesota, but that was to me that's one of the most disappointing teams of all time. That 15-1 Minnesota team. I don't know how Atlanta won that game. Um, but yeah, y'all would have beat Atlanta in that Super Bowl if y'all would have made it. Right, Williams to the Cowboys. Right, I thought that. Yeah, so you're right. Yeah, they traded him to Dallas. Right. Yeah, but yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I don't see the Jets being too much this year. I just think, hopefully, y'all build y'all have a good draft. Um, but anytime, I mean, you just want to see improvement. If they could get to 6 or 7 wins, I think that's a good year for them. Just see some improvement from last year. No interceptions. That was crazy. Um, no interceptions the whole season. That was kind of weird stat. Um, it don't seem like it's been that long, but it's been there because it was 2010. I think that was the last year with Rex um, in the AFC Championship, I believe. Yeah. Uh, yeah, y'all still, well, Joe Namath still come around and bring back those old. That's going way, way back before probably either of us was born. But Super Bowl three, that was the last time y'all even got there or won it. Um, yeah, I'm lucky. I mean, I'm ready. Cause when the Ravens got here, it was '96, so I was already a football fan. Um, yeah, I figured you wasn't that old. Yeah, I'm 42, so I'm old, but I'm not that old. I just know by just knowing my history of the NFL. But yeah, um, like I said, I've been lucky as a Ravens fan. I got two since '96. We existed in '96. I think we could have won more. I think we made a mistake when we won our first one. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm 40. So I mean, okay, you're 55. Okay, well, yeah, you barely missed it. Um, but I yeah, I've been lucky as a Raiders fan in a way to get to. I think our mistake we should have kept Trudell for the next year. I think we tried to get greedy because our offense played so bad. And tried to get Alvis Gurr back, and that didn't work out. Um, There was too much pressure on Jamal on the offensive side and the defense, and we just could never really get back there. Then in 2012, we made a run, got back there. Joe Flacco had a playoff of his life, and we won that one. But um, I saw when the Raiders were with Marcus Allen. Yeah, yeah. I think that was in '83, I believe. That was the year I was born in '83. Um, I think they beat the Eagles in that Super Bowl, I believe. Going back to the Ron Jarkowski days for the Eagles. But Marcus Allen is an underrated running back. Um, him as a Jets fan, I know you remember Curtis Martin at running back. He was a great running back. Um, he was on that '98 team with Vinny and Keyshawn. Yeah. But the Raiders, I think I like, the young core. I like Gentry at running back. Brock Bowers is unbelievable. Um, yeah, that's true. I would have bring that up, but yeah, I know he came from New England first because he was on. I think was he? I think it was the New England team that lost to Green Bay. I think he was on that team with Drew Bledsoe and Terry Glenn. That New England team at the time before the Brady era. Um, but yeah, Curtis was a great running back. But yeah, yeah, he did have some fumbling problems sometimes. So yeah, that was one of his flaws. Yeah, but yeah, because Herm he had Chad Pennington, the quarterback, during that era of the Jets. Yeah, yeah. We can stop talking about the Jets if you want. We can stop talking about the Jets. The Raiders too. They had some rough times over the last 20 years as well. Um, the Tampa Super Bowl, like I said, I bring it up another bad memory. When they did go, I really think I don't know what Brian Tannehill was doing. It was like John Gruden knew what they was going to do on offense. Like that type of defense was just like too instinctive. They just jumped on every route. Like that game was. Somebody said John Gruden left his playbook there, and Brian Callahan just picked it up and used it. And I liked it that team because I'm a Jerry Rice fan. I love Jerry Rice, and he was on that Raiders team for a few years. So I started following the Raiders because he was there. Um, yeah, yeah, Chad, right? And I think he's tore his shoulder too, even before that. So yeah, that was his issue. He was accurate, but he was only accurate for what 10 yards down the field, 10 to 15 yards. That's all he could get it accurately. Anything deeper than that, he couldn't do it. And teams, especially good teams, they just load the box and they dare him to throw it over the top, but he couldn't do it most of the time. So yeah, he was still yeah. A lot of people were surprised because Jerry was what at least I think when he first got there, I think he was like 37, 38 years old already. Um, and that's why I mean people have been bringing this up lately. Um, who's the best receiver of all time? It's clearly Jerry Rice to me. Now, some people say Randy, some people say T.O. I don't argue too much about that because just seeing them with my own two eyes, they was great. Randy probably the most gifted receiver we ever seen as far as speed and leaping ability and um, just pure athleticism. T.O. was physical. Will go over the middle, break a 5 yard slant, and take it all the way to the house. Just worked hard. Um, I think they did him wrong though with the nonsense off the field. I really believe that that was overblown, um, especially in Philadelphia. Um, and then Dallas, he never really got a chance because Parcells they really want him anyway. But he still played well there. But Jerry is definitely the best of all time. Um, right, yeah, that's what I say about Randy. Randy was just a freak athlete. But my knock on Randy is that he admitted this himself that he would take plays off, even though probably all players probably take plays off here and there. But you could tell when he wasn't into it. You could clearly see when he wasn't giving it his all. Um, and I think that was to me that's to me that's an indictment for me. So really, I got Jerry and then I got To and then Moss. But I won't argue with you about Randy because he was like far as eye test, he was one of the greatest. Calvin Johnson also comes up in that conversation, how freakish he was. If he'd have played longer, who knows where he'd be in the conversation as well for Detroit. But I just think he got tired of losing. Um, him and Matthew Stafford had a good chemistry. Um, but I think just like Barry Sanders, which to me the greatest running back I ever seen, I guess you get tired of losing, man. I guess you really get tired of losing. And Detroit finally turned it around now, but those Detroit teams, I know them fans suffered even now because they've been falling short. Um, yeah, he did have a lot of injuries as well. He got beat up a lot, Calvin Johnson. So you're right about that. It was partly injuries, and then then he became a doctor or something, right? So he had other avenues outside of football, but watching him um, on the field, he was amazing. Some of the catches that he made. Larry Fitzgerald also, I throw him in there just by consistency. What he did, consistency, and then I mean, he had Kurt Warner for a few years, but most of the time it was a quarterback carousel. DeAndre Hopkins, even though DeAndre Hopkins probably not in that tier with those guys, but it's amazing what he does without, with all the quarterbacks he played with. Patrick Willis the same. Yeah, yeah. Patrick Willis, he was something else as a Niner at the linebacker position. Yeah, his career was definitely cut short on injury. Andrew Luck, of course, comes to mind. Imagine if he'd have played longer, but he definitely was beat up. He had tore spleens. I think both of his spleens was torn, and he had internal injuries and all types of. Andrew Luck used to get. The Colts didn't do him well with that offensive line at all. Um, and he got destroyed. He retired early, but he did hint even before he got really hurt. He was hitting that he might retire earlier than normal. Um, it was still a surprise, but he said he was going to retire early. So, oh my bad. I mean, I did say two spleen, didn't I? My bad. I know his spleen was torn, but he had other internal injuries too. Um, yeah, he was destroyed on the inside. My bad. Yeah, I'm rambling now. I guess I'm getting a little tired, so my brain's starting to fry a little bit. But I've enjoyed our conversation, man. I'm glad you're here. I pretty much got through everything I want to talk about today, but I'm just staying on because we having a back and forth conversation. Um, yeah, I probably stay on for at least another couple of minutes. Uh, but yeah, it's just the world of sports just been crazy the last couple of days. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support, man. I appreciate everybody's support. I got to get more consistent of coming on. Um, I also do video game playthroughs. I probably don't do nothing with gaming and probably to the end of this week. But I usually try to do a slow smart once a week, but I've been doing it like every other week because, well, my location, I'm in a good location. So I was able to get on today. And then my work schedule, I still work in the daytime. So, um, oh, okay, you watch a lot of, okay. Yeah, well, of course, I'm right now I'm playing Resident Evil, um, Requiem right now. And God of War Son of Sparta. They the two games I'm really playing right now. But I play Call of Duty pretty much every day. Um, my brother and I get on for a couple hours. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I'm still in the beginning. Like I'm real behind because I ain't been home. Pretty much. Well, I've been at my basically to be honest. I've been back and forth between me and my girlfriend's house. So so I got to get a TV for here. I probably bought a monitor, so I probably start doing a lot of my content here also. So, but my work schedule opened up this week, so I definitely was able to get a sports blogger this week. But yeah, I got a lot of I play a lot of video games. I got a lot of libraries or stuff. Some of the stuff I didn't even still finish. So I gotta get back into that. She's about to go away for a month, so that's I'm definitely by April. April, I'm gonna have a lot of content. Especially April, I'm doing a lot of gaming content. Yeah, it is. It is. Some people be breezing through it though, but I'm still stuck in the beginning with Grace. Trying to get out that casting. I'm still there. And then what I be trying to do it for YouTube, I gotta watch my timing so I can edit my videos just right for YouTube. So that throws me off. So I've been playing it. So I've been playing it off YouTube just to play it. So when I play it for YouTube, at least I already did it so it'd be more of a spoof of video. So that's what I've been doing. So I got two playthroughs I'm playing at the same time. So that's another reason why I've been slow, behind on that. And God of War Sons of Sparta. It's sort of a retro side scroller. It's pretty cool. Um, I like that game as well. I like the God of War series. Period. Um, so I definitely was playing that. It didn't cost that much. So um, game I'm interested in. I probably need to watch somebody else play it. Now that it's out, I meant to get it last week. I probably get it Friday. It's Marathon. I heard a lot about that game, so I'm gonna check that game out as well. And that might be some new content that I do probably this weekend or so. Yeah, yeah, me too. Like I said, this is the first time. Well, my job cut hours, so I pretty much on the mini vacation. I don't go back to work till the weekend. But before that, I was working 6, 7 days in a row, 6, 7 days a week. So um, that's why I couldn't stream really. And then my gaming streams I do at night, but I be here at night and I leave my PS5 at home. So that's why I gotta invest in a monitor so I can do a lot of my gaming here as well. So that's why. But y'all been still supportive because my subscriber count slowly keep going up, even though my content bit less. So I appreciate you guys. Definitely you, Glenn, for being here today. You definitely made the show today. I love going back and forth with the chat. Um, yeah, well, yeah, you got definitely a busy life. Now I don't got no kids, even though I'm old as I am. I don't got no kids, and I'm not married yet. This relationship with my girlfriend is going very, very well. Um, so that's probably in the future, maybe. Um, but yeah, got to keep the woman happy. I mean, regardless. So that's why I gotta get off here too. She asked me to do some things around the house today, so I'm dragging that out as well. So um, yeah, man. So and I'm like I said, I'm not even married, so I can understand your situation. At least I can imagine, I should say. But on that note, Glenn, I think that's my cue to go ahead and get out of here since I just said that because I've been on. Well, I usually stay on for about an hour anyway, so I'm not way past the time. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this live up, man. And hopefully see you again. I gotta check my schedule. Hopefully I can get on next week. I usually come on 10 in the morning. Um, but I come on anytime I can come on. But I usually try to come on in the morning. Um, just to get it out the way so I could, like I said, because I be busy with stuff also. Um, but I appreciate you, man. It was a good conversation. Good luck to your teams this year. I feel better about my Ravens now, but I ain't gonna lie, I was upset when the Crosby deal fell through. But I'm glad they pivoted to Henderson from Cincinnati. Um, so I feel a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, all right. Well, just see how the draft goes. We'll see how the draft goes. Um, the Raiders, though, how you feel about? Well, before I go, how you feel about Mendoza? I like him. Um, I think he'll fit in well. Lost the Raiders. They're gonna have to get an offensive line to protect the kid, but I like him. Yeah, I think I don't want to say he's overhyped because I but I say it like this: if he was in last year's draft or the last few drafts this year, if he wasn't in if he's in next year's draft, he probably wouldn't go number one. He's the best quarterback of this draft, but yeah, Linderbaum, yep, y'all signed him. So he was good for us. So I think that was a good pickup for you guys. Like I said, they got the skill play. They got to get better at receiver. They got to get some receivers, but Bowers is a good safety net. Um, and I like Gentry in the backfield as well. So um, yeah, where did Raiders pick? They got a top 5 pick, right? So they get something good with that. I think they in the top 5. I know the Jets picked 2. I know the Raiders are 1. I just said that. Yeah, the Raiders got the number 1 overall. Yeah, right. That's why they gonna get Mendoza. But if that trade would have went through, y'all would have had the 14th as well because we gave y'all the 14th this year and whatever we would have did last year. That's why I think they really wanted that trade to go through because I think they would have probably did something with that 14th pick to help out Mendoza as well. Um, but yeah, I think he's okay. Like you said, I think he could be a good quarterback, but he's not like world change. He's not like a Peyton Manning or one of those high blue chip guys. But I was impressed what he did at Indiana. Indiana pretty much came from nowhere as a basketball school and won a national championship. I give him credit for that. Um, but uh, yeah, I think the Raiders are more upset, obviously, that it didn't go through because I think they could have did more to build their team this year. But I think, like I said, y'all in a tough division. Like I said, everybody's in front of you right now: Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs. But I think I think they going in the right direction. Um, Everybody pump up Tom Brady, Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady's smart. I'm not saying he don't contribute, but you know, yeah, they had. Yeah, you're right. Their defensive line was crazy, and the offensive line was dominant. That's how they won. That's how they beat Ohio State. Um, Ohio State probably was the better team overall, but they was dominant on the offensive and defensive line, and that carried them all the way to the championship. Yeah, I know you say you hate Brady. Yeah, I mean, like I was trying to say earlier, like I don't like the Steelers because I'm a Ravens fan. I don't care for the Patriots. I just respect the organization. Like in basketball, I respect the Lakers for winning all the titles, Boston Celtics, like those historic franchises. I think New England now is in that conversation. They wasn't because New England was a laughing stock for a while. They was a laughing stock organization. They couldn't ever win a Super Bowl. The '85 Bears destroyed them in the Super Bowl. The Packers, like they was a laughing stock organization. Um, oh, you're not a Jordan fan, huh? Okay, I respect Jordan. I mean, I respect Jordan. I can't say I hate him. Now back then when he was winning, I was always that person that would try to like find a rival for him. Like I like that Michael Finley. I don't know if you remember him. He was a guard, but oh, you're a Knicks fan. I respected those Knicks teams in the '90s, man. Those Knicks teams in the '90s. I felt bad for them that they couldn't get over the hump. I really did. I think they deserved it. Just how they grit they was, but yeah, they couldn't get past Mike. And then when he retired for that year, um, y'all ran into the Houston Rockets in the finals, and of course, the dream was just a little bit better than Pat Ewing. Right. Yeah, Jordan. Yeah, Jordan would just keep y'all from even getting there. And then that year that he retired for them couple of years, y'all met. Even though y'all took him to 7 games, um, but yeah, the dream was just the difference in that series, obviously. Um, but the Knicks this year, I talked about them a little bit earlier. Um, my only trepidation is can they gotta get better defensively, and I think Cat gotta be a little bit more consistent overall. But I think y'all got a good chance in the East this year. Um, Even though I'm starting to like Boston, like I said, um, I still don't trust Cleveland yet. I mean, they're in the conversation, but I still don't trust the Cavs yet. And Detroit, I like Detroit, but I still think they need a year of. Now the Pistons have had y'all number this year. Um, I think. I mean, Boston's a good team also, but last year I think y'all beat them even though Tatum got hurt, but y'all was already up in that series. I think y'all would have beat them anyway, even if Tatum wouldn't have went down. So I think psychologically, I think y'all could take Boston. Detroit, I don't know because they just been so dominant against y'all this year. And Detroit sort of have an axe to grind with the Knicks because they eliminated them last year. They've been talking trash all year about the Knicks and they beat them badly. So um, I think Cleveland. I think y'all better. I think y'all definitely better than Cleveland. Um, to me, anyway. Um, I had, but you want to make? I can make you laugh. I had Orlando coming out the East. I was still going to hang you with that just to be stubborn. But I don't trust Orlando either. I just thought they would probably get through because it's a weird year. Um, no Halliburton for the Pacers. They're gonna be back next year, so I was like, well, the East is sort of wide open. Maybe Orlando will slide, slide at the back end and get it, but I'm starting not to believe in that anymore. But they can be dangerous, though. I agree. They play defense. Um, Parchero, he got to get better off his. I like him. I like his game. I think he's continued to get better. I think he shoot too many jump shots. They gotta get more consistent. Desmond Bain been huge for them for our scoring this year. They definitely could. They're not afraid of nobody. They definitely could give somebody a series. Um, that's why I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna pick them to come out the East. But yeah, when he's hot, when Desmond Bain was on, He shoots the lights out. And when he's playing well, that helps the rest of that team, even Prochero. Um, so the Magic, I ain't gonna dismiss them yet. And watch out for Charlotte as well. Charlotte been playing a lot better basketball. We'll see if they can handle the pressure. They've been under the radar for years. But LaMelo Ball, see, like he's matured. Um, Brandon Miller, the young kid from Duke, the guard, the rookie, Knuckle. So they blew out Boston. They beat some of these top teams lately. So um, look out for the Hornets as well. It's going to all become matchups, like in both sides. The West also. It's a little bit depending on who match up with who. Um, and that's what's going to determine who moves on or who's go home. That's my opinion. But the Charlotte Hornets are dangerous as well. That bottom end. Um, so look out for them. Boston, like I said, Boston is clicking at the right time also. So I kind of agree with you with Boston as well. Jason Tatum look a lot better than I thought he was going to look. Um, Jaylen Brown is now made his mark. And then they got the experience. So um, I'm starting to really warm up to Boston again um, to come out the East also. The West, to me, it's still OKC and everybody else. But I like the Spurs. I know a lot of people think the Spurs are too young to this is too soon. Um, but I think the Spurs, like I said earlier, they just a matchup problem because they got so many guards. And this is a guard-driven league, so I think that's why they match up well with OKC and some of these other teams that really driven by their guards because they can match up with you with Catsel and De'Aaron Fox and Dale and Harper. They just got a lot of great guards, and then Wemby on that back end. So I do too. I believe they could come out. A lot of people, some people said they could do it, but they just thinking, they have no playoff experience, all that stuff, which matters, but I don't think it matters for them because they match up so well with a lot of teams out there. Um, that's why I think the Spurs can still come out, even though you never seen a team that didn't make the playoffs with their first year with a core go all the way to the finals. That's true, but I think the Spurs could do it this year because of the guard play that they got, and then Wemby just doing what he does. So I really like the Spurs also, but OKC until they get beat, it's gonna be hard. I like Denver as well. Don't dismiss the Nuggets yet. I just think they got to get healthy. Um, Houston is a sleeper. Only why I call them a sleeper because I just think they can't score consistently enough. Like Kevin Durant would have to be out of his mind for Houston to get far offensively. I believe that too because Wemby. I think they try to make Wemby the face of the league now. Um, so I do think I agree with that. I think the NBA will want Wemby to win. Um, I agree with that also. Um, but my man man, Minnesota, that's another team to look out for. But I just think it's too much on his shoulders. Um, but I think they tried to push him out there, but he pretty much pushed back. He was like, "No, I don't want to be the face of the league." Um, so so Wemby, yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, and he's a beast, man. I just think he needs help offensively. Julius Randle ain't consistent enough on the offensive side. Um, they got a lot of good role players. I think that's why they win as well. Rudy got to play better in the playoffs, and I don't mean just offensively. I think defensively, when he when he faced better competition, he sort of wilts a little bit in the postseason. So all that's going to have to happen. Um, yeah, I agree. That's what I was saying about Randall. He can look like a world beater some nights. Like he can average 25, 30 a game, and then he just had these stretches where he just don't even shoot the ball, let alone score. Um, so I think if he somehow, which he did a little bit in the playoffs last year, but once they got to the Western Finals, he sort of faded away, and OKC was able to get by him. So right, well, so you're a Knicks fan, so you know a lot about Julius. I still remember him when he was with the Lakers as well. When LeBron first got there. Um, and think about the Lakers now. Brandon Ingram They had Randall. They had some good players they let go, young players. So yeah, he does. Yeah, the turnovers for sure. Yeah, yeah, that's a problem for him. So yeah. All right, Glenn. Appreciate your conversation, man. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down, man. I hope to see you again. Like I said, I'll be back on sooner than later. Um, I agree with that take. Um, Brody James, I didn't like. He don't belong in the NBA, but at the same time, I didn't mind that. Um, thanks, buddy, that the Lakers drafted him. You see it all the time. Like your father. Um, you see it all the time. I mean, I know some people was upset. I get it, but who are me to say that you know he don't belong in the league, but the way that it happened, a lot of people were more upset with that. Of course he got drafted because that's LeBron James' son. It's obvious. So um, I didn't have a major problem with that, but he don't belong in the NBA. He don't. So dang, I just saw some news, but something with Daniel Jones. So um, but yeah, thanks, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, get this work done I gotta do, so I won't have to rush. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate everybody, all my subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Um, I might do some more shorts today if some more news come out. I'll do some little shorts. Thank you, Glenn. Peace out, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. Thank you guys so much. We did an hour and a half. I didn't expect it, but it was great. Shout out to Glenn. Thank you for subscribing, bro. Thank you for your conversation. Um, have a good rest of the week, guys. Like I said, I might be doing some streaming this weekend. But definitely gonna be doing some shorts because some more news might come out in the NFL. So just look out for that. And I see you guys then. I appreciate you guys so much. I usually be on camera, but my lighting is bad, so I kept my camera off this time. But my pictures all over the place, so um, on my community wall. So check that out. And I see you guys. Y'all have a great, great week. And y'all enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe. It's been unseasonably warm, but it's supposed to cool back down again. I'm in Maryland, so we always get up and down weather. So y'all just stay safe, man. And I see you guys. Peace and love always. Thank you for subscribing once again, Glenn. Thank you for everybody else who came through. Peace and love, guys.